Episode 10, Trailers to Yachts.
1-0.
I didn't think we'd make it to double digits. Cheers, boys.
40,000 followers so far.
Yeah, knock about 5 zeros off that.
Couple of followers.
Few followers.
Yeah, that kind of pivots us right into the topic we want to talk about today is branding and marketing. Who are the Smash Buddies?
And what the hell are they doing?
What aren't they doing? What aren't we doing?
We're doing a little bit of everything. And actually, ever since our first episode aired, the day our first episode aired, actually, we
Today.
today, but this episode's going to air a whole lot later.
I know.
So today, yesterday, a few weeks ago, we one of our loyal customers who comes in all the time was messaging me, and he was all about it. And he said, "This is awesome." He actually requested to be a guest on our show. His name is Nick. He said he said he's been to almost every burger place in Columbus, and would love to bring his insight onto our show.
Testimonial.
As a little testimonial
Live
of a guy who loves cheeseburgers, and I'm like, hey, right up my alley. He also loves golden tea, so shout out to Nick.
Yeah,
And
Nick actually has like gotten a lot of people to come to our restaurant. Like there were guests this last week. I don't remember what state they were from, but I think it was like Arizona. And they're like, where Nick tells you to go, you go.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So Nick will be on here
So-
soon.
shout out to Nick.
Absolutely. But branding and marketing, what are we doing? Why are we here? One of the things that I guess we've kind of done from the beginning is fire from the hip. You know, we literally throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. You know, it's the same thing how we started our food truck, same thing how we started our restaurant, with basically like, let's do everything we can, and whatever's working, we'll focus on that. You know, hit every avenue you possibly can and see, do people like this? Do they like that? All right, this is where people are going, so let's do that.
Yeah, and I think it's more than that even. Like, it's doing things that most of the successful things that we've done are things we've wanted to do. It's like, what do we want to see in a restaurant? What do we want to see in a burger joint? Like, this is all stuff, like, if we had the ideal restaurant, it's Smash Buddies. And, like, that's just, like, it's our child that we're kind of developing. I think...
Well, right. Even like burgers of the week that come up in 3 minutes worth of talking, or the ones that we've been trying to develop for 3 weeks. Like we're putting time into it,
Yeah.
and we're not straying away from anything.
Yeah, I think how this whole thing started, we talked about it early on as like we should start a podcast. I think that was beginning of the food truck days.
Yeah.
Where
You've
we're
been
like,
talking about
we're
this
like,
for a
let's,
long time.
yeah, we're like, let's do a podcast. And then the biggest issue is like, it was just Cole and I back then. We're like, when do we have time to film, edit, and with the realization of like, no one's actually going to
Right,
watch
like, how
this.
much content can you
but-
possibly?
Right. And it's kind of like, we wanted to document the journey.
Yeah.
And so going into the restaurant, we kind of put that on a back page, right? And then we went into the restaurant, and then I don't even remember, we came up with the name Trailers to Yachts. And
Fire.
it's really a journey of like how we started in food trailers and hope to someday be in yachts. But several people, we've told our story of like how we ended up being here. And it's a crazy story of like a couple of guys with zero restaurant experience, zero industry experience. We have no clue what's going on. We watched a YouTube video, made some cheeseburgers in the garage, and we're like, let's start an empire.
But that makes it so much more relatable to the average person. That's like, these guys aren't just these restaurateurs that are, they made a food truck, now they have a restaurant. They have this huge backing that doesn't matter what happens. No, we have to survive. We have to
Figure everything out.
Well, right. But that's
Yeah.
what makes it relatable, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it. I mean, that's why I'm with you guys. Like it's a fucking journey,
And
it's awesome.
it's not something where we're like, we took $1 million worth of investment money.
Right.
We took nothing, nothing.
Yeah.
we just started. We got a trailer and we're just building it from the ground up. So we're literally building this whole empire ourselves. You know, we're not relying on anybody or anybody's fancy name or branding to push this thing. We're just doing it all ourselves and seeing how far we can take it. And I mean, that's realistically, it's the American dream of like, see what you can do. We've always joked around and be like, we're young enough that we can put everything into this and see what happens. If it fails, I'll go work at UPS or Walmart for 20 years and retire and call it good. But
I don't think a lot of people would look at it like that. They look at it as in they need to have this where you guys looked at it with the food trailer and now the restaurant. You need to get this space. You need to exploit it, grow as much as you can within this space, and then get a little more space. And like we did when we had room, when we had them still in the kitchen, we were there and we exploited that. And now we need the whole kitchen, and now we want the whole everything. And you know, already talking on the next spot or whatnot. But it's calculated decisions, but you have to still be, you know, in a conscious mind. You know, you can't just go rent a 4,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot space and say, oh, well, let's hope the people come in today and hope they like the burgers. So it's
our headset has always been of like, try to plan for the most insane things ever to happen, whatever route it is, and then whatever happens, be able to adapt and make a quick decision. Because like a lot of people, you know, an opportunity comes up and they'll think on it for 30 days. Or think on it for however long, and then the opportunity's passed.
And they'll never have time to act on it because it's already gone.
Exactly. And so we were like, let's think of every single possible scenario that could ever happen and how we would react and what we would do. You know, some of that's probably based on our military training where you're like kind of plan for everything. But that's realistically how you have to be in business because you have no idea what's going to happen. You know, like before COVID, nobody expected COVID to happen. You know, and I'm not saying that there's things you could do to plan for that, but if you plan for every opportunity that you could possibly think of, when stuff happens, it's easier for you to adapt and figure out an alternative and where you're going to like
make your
flex.
mind just go absolutely bananas, and you know, you at least have a backfall. And I don't want to say that, but it's a plan B, it's a plan C, it's a plan. You have to have them all in line.
Yeah,
and if not, then you're not planning correctly, and I hate to say it, you shouldn't be a successful business because it's a false sense of security that once it happens and you're done.
I think that's
so. I just try to summarize kind of like because the whole point of this specific episode was branding and like who Smash Buddies are, and kind of like the conversation we're having is like Smash Buddies is a story that's still unfolding.
Absolutely, but
like it's literally
developing every day.
It's developing every day. Like it's a few guys who have this idea and are pushing it and willing and doing as much as they can to take it as far as they can. And I mean, I think that summarizes what we're trying to do and what we've been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what the next few years have in store because we have big plans. But with that, I think we can wrap this episode up.
Smash you later.